to come in for a splash. Three, two, one, now. All clear. Punch it. Great job. You did really well.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $100,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good morning and welcome back to Turn 3 Racing Network. Sunday morning IndyCar action for you. That's right, it's the US IndyCar League presented by StickQuik. This morning, race number 3 in season number 5 for the US IndyCar League. We're here at Texas Motor Speedway, 115 laps around this 1.46 mile track. And happy hour is underway. Cars out there on the track, but we're going to look at our point standings coming into the third race of the season. 2 in the books. There you see Ryan Bowles, Ben Wallace, your 2 race winners of the season sitting on top of the board. Todd Labrani right there in third, Jeff Murray in fourth, Jason Lowe sitting right there, top 5. Great job so far by him. Graham Bunyan kind of fell through the field, not being in last week's race. There you see him in the 10th spot, 44 points behind your points leader, Ryan Bowles. But that could all change this race, and looking forward to next week. We head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indy 250 presented by StickQuik in partnership with Jack Bumper. So great things coming next week. Look forward to that. With about 5.5 minutes left here in happy hour, we'll go ahead, look how everybody's doing out there on track. See who's out there on some flyers. Looks like Robert Mitchell in his StickQuik IndyCar coming down pit road. Gonna put it in the box. We'll jump out there now with the 6 of Jeff Murray. Jeff riding in that Wix. Oh my goodness, that's not supposed to happen. Would you look at that? I'll tell you what. Jeff Murray and Ray Lenning right there with each other on track. No, actually, that may be Ryan Bowles, actually. Right there. Yes, it is. Right behind Jeff Murray. Oh, car flipping down the backstretch. Not sure who that was. My, holy jeez. And that is Ryan Bowles that made the pass here in happy hour on Jeff Murray. We'll take a look back now. Let's go see what the Rolling Stones machine of Graham Bunyan is doing. He's just hanging out on pit road, so let's jump out with, I tell you what, I've always liked Rick's paint scheme, so we'll take a lap or two here around the track with this 24 of Rick Kelball as he makes his way onto the track and up to speed. And the weather a little bit different here today. Track temp only at 91 degrees, air temperature 83 out there right now. Pretty humid as far as the conditions are concerned here at Texas Motor Speedway, right around the 50 to 55% humidity level, so a little bit of moisture might be possible out there in the air. So watch for the walking through, talking to some of the drivers. A few of them had mentioned aero push. So gonna have to keep our eye on that as we continue to watch the 24 of Rick Kelball make some laps. He's gonna bring it to a stop. And we'll jump on board now. Watch this 101 of Graham Bunyan. Graham, always one of the fast drivers out there on track week in and week out. Down there hugging that white line, coming back across the line this time by. Where's he going to shake out? Does he jump on the boards? No, he doesn't. Going to stay right around that 8th spot on the speed chart so far here this morning. And it sounds like Graham is slowly shutting the machine down. Yes, he is. So that's going to give us an opportunity now to jump out there with Ben Wallace. And Ben, he's actually going to be bringing it to a stop as well with about a minute and a half left here in happy hour before we get set to go into our qualifying session. And it looks like it's a pretty tight race up there in that top 3 to 4 positions so far early here in happy hour. And well, not really sure how. I guess happy hour is a little bit more telling than qualifying, as we do have a few drivers heading out trying to get just one last little attempt as we have less than 1 minute left here in happy hour before we change on over for our qualifying session. We do have 14 cars here at the track at Texas Motor Speedway for race number 3 for the U.S. IndyCar League, presented to you by StickQuik here on iRacing.com. Last few seconds, click away. Field will receive a few moments to finish the lap they're on, and then qualifying will be set to begin. And man, who is going to jump out on to the track first? Looks like we do have a few drivers already out there. The 10 of Mike West, he has jumped out on track. The 99 of Ben Wallace sitting at the end of pit road. Jason Lowe, that 004 Naked Clown, sitting at the end of pit road as well. And we'll let a few of these drivers get set to get this qualifying underway and done. Chad Pearson, the 19, sitting at the end of pit road as well. Ben Wallace now finally rolling off, getting up to speed. Mike hanging around that bottom lane. We'll throw up some qualifying information for you on Mike. There you see the speed. Mike's going to go to the top of the board. We'll jump back now with the 99 of Ben Wallace as he's on his second time lap, trying to put down that fast time this time by. First lap in the books for Wallace. This is where the flyer begins. Wallace slotting in the second position. Ray Lenning also out there on track. Chad Pierce, Todd Lebrani. Graham Bunyan has begun his qualifying attempts. Will Stern slotting in second. Ben Wallace in fourth. Right now, Pierce into third. Just over 3 minutes remaining. Ben Wallace crossing the line. Where will he jump to? Top of the board. Now we'll look back here at Graham Bunyan in the 101. Where will Graham shake out? First time lap, 8th on the board. Graham now on that super pole attempt. Can he steal the provisional pole position away from the 19 of Ben Wallace sitting on top of the leaderboard right now? Bunyan crosses the line. Where will he jump to? All the way to second. Not able to get the job done and take the throne away from Ben Wallace. Robert Mitchell now also out on track. Robert Mitchell and Chris Blackstock, only two drivers yet to put in a qualifying time. Just a little over 2 minutes left. And the field will be set for today's race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Coming back into turn 3 and 4, there you see Mitchell right there on that white line, hugging it, trying to get as low as he can, crossing the line. Where will he shake out? From 13th all the way to first. Put Robert Mitchell to the top of the board. Heck of a job by that StickQuik machine right there. Heck of a job. We will now pretty much have our field set for today's race. So please join me in heading down trackside for our pre-race festivities, singing of our national anthem. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back for race number 3 here in the U.S. IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming
Thanks for staying with us. We're back. Cars beginning to hit the grid. So we will get this thing set. Your starting order for today's race looks a little something like this. Row number 1 inside. Pole sitter the 31 of Robert Mitchell. The 99 of Ben Wallace will line up just to his outside. Row number 2, the 101 of Graham Bunyan, and the 13 of Howard Livingston. Row number 3, the 306 of Will Stearns, and the 24 of Rick Kelball. Row number 4, the 004 of Jason Lowe, and the 16 of Ray Linning. Row number 5, the 25 of Ryan Bowles, and the 2 of Todd Lebrani. Row number 6, the 6 of Jeff Murray, and the 19 of Chad Pierce. Row number 7 for today's race, the 10 of Mike West, and the 12 of Chris Blackstock. That will round out the field for race number 3 here at Texas Motor Speedway. Your pole sitter, Robert Mitchell, on the inside just behind that pace car, waiting for it to make its first left-hand turn onto pit lane so we can get this thing underway. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air, and Mitchell gets off to a great start already. Entire field up through the gearbox so far. No issues, no problems back through the field. We will keep our eye on it as things do start to happen and take place. Everybody seems to be fine down the backstretch. Mitchell off to a good lead already. Graham Bunyan up into second. Third is Ben Wallace, Howard Livingston in fourth. Fifth, Will Stearns. Field getting single file already. Not a lot of battles going on just yet. Maybe some tire conservation already at play as Graham Bunyan trying to work that outside lane on Ben Wallace, who does have help from the 13 of Howard Livingston right there, getting a tow from him. Now Wallace to second, Bunyan to third, as these three cars battle it out for the top spot. Ben Wallace now looking to the outside of Mitchell. We've got almost 3 different lanes already early here at Texas Motor Speedway. House cleaning already in order. 14 cars came to the track. Only 13 made it to the starting line. Chris Blackstock being shown 3 laps down behind pit wall. So his night is, or morning, getting off to a very rough start. Robert Mitchell still trying to keep the lead up there away from the fast 101 of Graham Bunyan. Right there with Ben Wallace on his heels. Behind them, close battle between Howard Livingston, Ryan Bowles, and the 306 of Will Stearns. Todd Lebrani in the 2 machine trying to make his way up through the outside right now as well. There you see him just off in the distance. Oh! A little bit of a moment there for Will Stearns. He's up into the wall. He keeps it going. And we have got 3 lanes working up here at the front for your race lead. Graham Bunyan now back to that outside. There you see Ben Wallace. Close racing between them. We're going to look right off overhead. Your race leader, that is Robert Mitchell right there. Back to Ben Wallace. This is what he's seen in front of him. Things starting to slowly sort themselves out back through the rest of the field. We will have a look momentarily as this battle still raging on for your top 3 spots. Rest of the field pretty much getting single file. There you see in the background Ray Linning in the 16. Going around Chad Pierce for the 8th position. I want to give a shout out to Ray. Roll Tide, baby, roll Tide. Love the paint scheme on that Dallara IR18. Love it. That's all I'm going to say. Robert Mitchell still digging on the bottom, trying to keep Graham Bunyan at bay. Ben Wallace has kind of settled right into third, waiting for these drivers to sort it out, waiting for them to get things situated before he tries to make the move. Has to be careful being right there in the dirty air of Graham Bunyan. So, I mean, it could be... It's good because he can save some gas, but it's bad because the aero push can be absolutely stunning. This battle, it just will not go away. Graham Bunyan trying everything he can to get by that 31 of Mitchell. Mitchell not having anything of it, still on the bottom lane, forcing Bunyan to go the high route. And oh, look at Wallace dives down to the bottom. Can he make the pass on Bunyan? Those two now drag racing down the backstretch. Wallace nowhere to go with the run. He's going to fall back into third position. Now Bunyan starting to work over Mitchell once again. Right there looking to the outside as we cross the line. 12 laps into this 115 lap race. 104 laps left to go. 168 total miles. That is a lot of numbers. So I hope you didn't get lost. Positions through the field starting to sort themselves out. Todd Lebrani right there trying to take away the 5th position from Howard Livingston right now. Howard running that KOA. Caution is actually out. Jeff Murray involved in something. We're going to have to take a look back, see if we can find it, as Jeff is now on pit road. Just up and into the wall. And then around one more time. We'll back it up one more time, take one more look at it, see what happens here. Everything looked fine. Everything was going fine for Murray down there. Little clip of the apron and up into the wall, trying to save it, and just okay. Okay. Caught up and grabbed up, yanked up, yoked up, whatever you want to call it, by the fence right there. Murray, tough break for him. He's going to be one lap down now, scored in the 11th position. We do have 10 cars on the lead lap. Looks like all of your drivers are going to take the opportunity to come down pit road as we are under our first caution for today's race here at Texas Motor Speedway for the U.S. IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik. Graham Bunyan is going to come off of pit road in front of Robert Mitchell, but Mike West staying out on track, possibly just to get a lap led in there, get some points for that. We'll have to see if Mike hits pit road this time, and does that allow that 101 of Graham Bunyan to inherit the lead early in today's race. And it does look like Mike is going to be hitting pit road. That's going to give the lead to the 101 of Graham Bunyan. So Graham, accustomed to being at the front of the field, a little bit of career stats here for Graham. I mean, there you see it. His winning percentages is right around, looming in that 33 to 50% winning percentage 45 out of 47 starts, top 10s. Amazing, amazing job. 38 of them, top 5s. So when this man gets to the front, that's not something you're going to want to deal with. But I tell you what, I mean, look at Robert Mitchell, your pole sitter for today's race. He is no slouch at all. 35 of his 51 starts, top 5s. 46 top 10s. So Robert also a driver that once he gets up front, you may want to think twice about letting that happen. Field working its way to the line. Pace car lights go out. We are set to go back. Green flag racing here at Texas Motor Speedway this morning for the U.S. IndyCar League, presented to you by StickQuik here on iRacing.com, world's #1 racing simulator. Everything on here scanned laser precision, unbelievable. If you haven't ran on iRacing, boy, you're missing out. I'm not gonna elaborate too much because we're gonna get this thing set to go back. Green flag. Your race leader Graham Bunyan will have the field in his hands once that pace car ducks off. There you see the entire field, single file up there at the top of the racetrack. They're going to get a huge run off the corner once the pace car goes to the pit road surface. Green flag back in the air, and we are back racing at Texas Motor Speedway. Graham Bunyan gets a great start over Robert Mitchell, stumbling just a little bit on that latest restart. Ben Wallace trying to close the distance in third. Ryan Bowles right there in fourth. Looks like the rest of the field has sorted themselves out single file as well. We have 9 cars on the lead lap. Still 98 laps to go in this 115 lap race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Bunyan on the bottom now. Robert Mitchell looking at the top. Ben Wallace coming in underneath Mitchell. That battle was for second, as Ryan Bowles right there in the 25 machine. He is sitting just behind these drivers, waiting to pounce. Howard Livingston has made his way inside the top 15. There you see him just behind, a little bit of a gap back to Ryan Bowles. And if I am not mistaken, Bowles is also running a StickQuik paint scheme out there. I believe he is. I could be wrong about that, but that StickQuik machine of Robert Mitchell sitting in third, trying to get back by. Oh, big moment there for your top 3. They almost run into each other coming through the tri-oval. That could have spelled disaster for any 3-4. I mean, even 5. Your top 5 could have been caught up in something very, very bad there. Graham Bunyan still digging on the bottom, trying to maintain the lead, trying to build a gap, but Ben Wallace and his 99 machine is having none of it, hanging strong out there in that matte black Monster Energy machine 99. Up very close to the wall that time was Wallace, giving up just a little bit of ground to Bunyan. Now cleared back down to the bottom for the second position. Top 4 spots starting to slowly sort themselves out. But now Todd Lebrani, look at that. He's come into the picture. He's digging on the bottom, trying to take the spot from Livingston. Oh, and Livingston up into the wall. That is going to bring out our next caution. Howard Livingston running very close with Todd Lebrani. See if we see any contact between those two drivers. Oh, and into the wall goes Livingston, and hard hit. We'll take one more look at it from the blimp. See what we can see. Oh, and a little bit of wheel touch between those two drivers, and that is what sent Livingston down across the racing surface and into that outside and inside wall. Tough break for Howard. Want to give a shout out to Rick Motec Sim Racing Equipment for all the aerial shots provided to you today here for race number 3 in the U.S. IndyCar League, presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Field coming back down pit road for the second time here today, and Mike West gonna stay out once again, get another lap led. 10 laps ago is when Mike decided to pit. Will he pit again? We'll have to wait and see, and it looks like Bunyan leading the race off of pit road. Ben Wallace follows Robert Mitchell just behind him. Ryan Bowles slides out fourth from pit road, so they pretty much come off of pit road how they went in, but Will, the man up front, will Mike West pit? I mean, just 10 laps ago, I probably would. These IndyCar tires are a lot different from the 10 tops that we are more accustomed to seeing myself run in. And Mike gonna roll the dice. He's gonna stay out right here. That is an interesting call. We'll wait to see what happens here as we are on 2 to go. And I tell you what, let's see if we can't get in a word or two with our driver in the lead. Let's see if we can't dial up that 10 of Mike West. This Dave in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. A little bit of strategy. Find yourself leading the field. What was your crew chiefs thinking here? Just 10 laps on those tires, so it might not be that bad, huh?
No, I was just trying to lead a couple laps and, just stay out of trouble.
Well, Mike, do you think the call was any easier having your buddy Graham Bunyan right behind you, starting right behind you? Do you think you would have came down if he may not have been the one lining up right behind you?
Oh, I definitely would have came in if he was not in behind me.
All right, man. Well, field coming to the 1 to go, I do believe, so we'll let you go. But before we do, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Just thanks for the server, for Mitchell. Thanks for Graham for a great teammate. And we miss you, Danny.
All right, there you have it. That was the driver of the 10 machine, your race leader, Mike West. Interesting strategy here by Mike. We'll see if it pays off. It might help him because he does have a teammate behind him. So that may play into his favor, but we'll have to wait and see how things all shake out and sort out. Lap 28 coming to lap 29 out of 115 here today. Pace car is off. We wait the green flag, and there it is. Back in the air on the gas is the 10 of Mike West as he gets a good start over that 101 of Graham Bunyan. Graham's got a good start over Ben Wallace. Robert Mitchell, same distance back to him. Looks like everybody got pretty much the same kind of start, and we have got a long train of cars. So I tell you what, while we've got a chance, I don't want to do it now with this battle beginning to take shape and form. Oh my goodness, look at these 4 cars right there all over each other. Graham Bunyan, there you see him, his Rolling Stones machine, trying to make his way by his buddy teammate, if you will, down there on the inside. Mike West, Ben Wallace right there in third, Ryan Bowles in fourth, Robert Mitchell fifth, Todd Lebrani in sixth, Rick Kilball in seventh, Ray Lenning sitting in eighth. First car 1 lap down. The 004 of Jason Lowe. Rounding out your top 10 is that 13 machine of Howard Livingston. And this is going to get a little bit confusing. We are watching teammates battle up their paint schemes identical, except for just some small markings on the noses of these two machines. And speaking of nose cones, let's jump on to that nose cone camera on board with the 101 of Graham Bunyan. There you see him running on the outside lane, trying to hold the field off behind him and trying to get around his good friend and buddy, the 10 of Mike West. Ben Wallace digging on the bottom lane. Robert Mitchell trying to follow suit. Ryan Bowles now getting pushed back through the field. Gonna give the position away to Mitchell, as Mitchell was hugged up right there behind the 99 of Ben Wallace, now giving a little bit of ground away to that 101 of Graham Bunyan, who is still digging on that outside lane since the drop of the green for our latest restart. Entire field down and through to turn 3. And now looks like Mike West beginning to step away from the field a little bit. So I tell you what, we didn't have an opportunity just a second ago, but we do now. Let's give you a little bit of, well, turns 3, shut up and race. Absolutely love it. Man, oh man. Still green flag racing, lap 38 out of 115 here today. 78 left to go when we cross the line this time by. Another one in the books for Mike West, but we now have 77 laps left to go. Robert Mitchell driving his way back up to the front to that second position. He is on a move now, trying to take away the race lead from the 10 of Mike West. Does have Graham Bunyan right there on his heels. And Ben Wallace has kind of gave way a little bit here on this latest green flag run. He's kind of settled in right in that 4th position, not really going anywhere. little bit of a blink problem there for Ben. Not sure where he went. That could spell trouble for Wallace. Oh my goodness. Meanwhile, Robert Mitchell still trying to get the job done on the outside lane. Does have Graham Bunyan right there running with him. Todd Lebrani sitting in fourth. Ryan Bowles rounding out your top five. And it looks like Ben Wallace has been relegated to being in the garage. Tough break for Ben up there running in the front for your day to come to an end over mechanical issues, technical issues, if you will. Tough break to see things like that happen to that fast 99 of Ben Wallace. Gonna go down trackside on board with the 31 of Robert Mitchell. He is trying to take that top spot away. There you see him pulling even with your race leader, Mike West. He is working that outside lane, but just can't seem to get the job done yet. Very close to that outside wall. My goodness, that is some close racing quarters. Give the lap to Mitchell that time by. Graham Bunyan still not happy with second place. Graham missing last week's race, needs a few wins to overcome a big points deficit that he finds himself in. 44 points behind your points leader at the moment. Robert Mitchell digging on the bottom lane, trying to keep that top spot. And we've got a battle between Mike West now and Ryan Bowles. Todd Lebrani right there. That is third through fifth just behind them. Rick Kelball, Ray Lenning also fighting for position. There you see the 004 of Jason Lowe, the naked clown, sitting in eighth position, one lap down. So he has still got some work cut out for him. Graham Bunyan still in pursuit of that top spot, working down the back stretch on lap 47. Back down the backstretch, Robert Mitchell still on the bottom lane. Graham Bunyan up at the top, trying to take the position away. And it looks like Bunyan's going to make the power move on the outside. Come around for the race lead for what will be his 11th lap led here tonight. And Bunyan back on point, and this may not be what the field wants to see, is that 101 out front. We're going to run through the field just a little bit here for you. Starting with the man up front, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. A heck of a start to the season. Great runs already, missing last week. He finds himself a little bit behind the 8 ball, but this is an exact example of what he needs to do and how it needs to get done. Bunyan sitting in first place right now. Robert Mitchell sitting in second. Robert having a great season so far. Inside the top 5 in points was today's pole sitter. So that 31 machine very, very fast. Todd Lebrani making a name for himself early so far this season. Great runs by him as well, finding himself in the third spot. Rick Kelball, seasoned veteran Kelball, doing a great job running inside the top 5 so far here today. And rounding out your top 5, the 25 of Ryan Bowles. He has been up inside the top 5 all race long as well. So look for him to continue his hot streak and keep the momentum and points flowing in. Meanwhile, back up front with your race leader, Graham Bunyan, stepping away to now about a 0.4 of a second lead. Field beginning to get a little bit spread out. Closest battle on track right here on screen. That is the 16 of Ray Lenning trying to keep the spot away from the fast-moving 25 of Ryan Bowles. And Ray, as I said, I mean, I'm going to switch it to it. Why? Because roll tide, baby. If you can't see it, it's right there. Right there. You see it? It's right there. That's right. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Had to do it. You know how us Bama fans are. You know how we do things. Back to the point at hand here today. Graham Bunyan leading the field after taking the lead about 7 laps ago or so. Has not looked back. As a matter of fact, he has stepped away from the field. The 31 of Robert Mitchell finds himself just under 1 second behind your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Todd Lebrani losing a little bit of ground, but slowly trying to regain it. Rick Kelball right there on Lebrani's gearbox. So we will jump back to this race battle here as those two drivers start to battle. Can they catch up to that 31 of Robert Mitchell and make it a 3-way battle for the set? Oh, and caution comes out. Jason Lowe looks like he's involved. Ryan Bowles also involved. My goodness, we'll have to take a look at this, see what happened here. And for some reason, it is not wanting to cooperate. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get back to that caution. Not quite sure what the deal was with that. It just was not wanting to cooperate. I tell you what, we'll try one more time here. See if we can't get it to work itself out. Have to go back a little bit further. Here we are. There you go. See what happens to Bowles here. Oh, and just up and into the wall and then into the 04. And that is what brought out that latest caution. There you go. We were lucky enough to be able to find it. Looks like the field has been on and off pit road. We do apologize for the jump around, but we kind of needed to see. We needed to find out what happened. I mean, needed to show all you fans out there what happened. And luckily, we were able to find it in through some of our camera shots. Lucky enough for that. Today's race has not been a good one for a few drivers. A lot of drivers heavily damaged. That 004 of Jason Lowe now finds himself behind pit wall working on his machine. The 99 of Ben Wallace, he has been able to rejoin the racing surface. He finds himself well behind the field, though, 11 laps down due to some computer issues inside the car. Just shutting things down, not letting anything happen or work. Had to recycle things, and he finds himself back out on the track, trying to get it a few laps back if he can, maybe a few spots here or there should we have some more issues out there on track. Working lap 61 of 115 here today from Texas Motor Speedway. 55 laps left to go. 54 when we cross the line. And Robert Mitchell has reassumed the race lead. His last pit stop was absolutely phenomenal. 29.2 seconds down pit road and back off. So a heck of a job by Mitchell and his crew out there today. And with pace car lights going out, there you're seeing the 99 of Ben Wallace getting the wave around. He's going to go around the field, come back to the tail end. Still finding himself 11 laps down, though. That's going to be a hard pill to swallow. We still have 8 cars out running on track out of the 14 cars that took to the racing surface here this morning. As I said, just that outside wall coming out of turn 2 has been just been a nuisance for numerous drivers so far here this morning. Pace car is off. We're set to go back. Green flag racing. Robert Mitchell hits the gas, drifting right towards the grass. Great start by Mitchell. He gets off to a big lead, almost a half of a second over Graham Bunyan. Todd Lebrani right there in third. Fourth, Rick Kelball. Your top 3 have kind of skated away from the field a little bit. Now your top 3 coming back together. Rick Kelball slowly closing in the distance as well. Ray Lenning in that Alabama Crimson Tide machine right there in the 5th spot, trying to come up and get some more positions. Speaking of positions, Robert Mitchell is under fire big time by Todd Lebrani and Graham Bunyan. They are right there battling hard for that top spot right now. Bunyan looking to the inside. He's going to make the pass clear, and away he goes. Todd Lebrani following suit. Robert Mitchell falls to third. Giving way to 2 drivers utilizing that push and tow kind of system, the slipstream. Bunyan and Lebrani move to the bottom and right around. Mitchell within 1 corner, and Mitchell now kind of stuck in no man's land. He's getting a pull from the drivers in front of him, but he's also getting pulled on by that 3-car pack of Rick Kelball, Ray Lanning, and Mike West. Mike now back on the same tire strategy as everybody else, so his day improved from the pit strategy. Gained some track position out of it. Good call. Back across the stripe for lap 68 out of 115 here scheduled today, and Todd Lebrani working that outside lane, trying to make the pass on Bunyan, but he's got to be careful. He cannot open the door for the man behind him, Robert Mitchell, and his StickQuik machine. right there waiting, ready to pounce at any moment. Looking back now from the two of Todd Lebrani, you're looking back at the field. There you see Robert Mitchell just behind him, Rick Kelball, Ray Lanning right there in the distance. So all of these drivers within striking distance. If something should go wrong, a little bit of a mishap, and things could go haywire in a hurry. Absolutely appreciate all the drivers letting us put these great cameras on their cars from us here at Turn 3. Looking now back off of that slick chromed out StickQuik machine into the side mirror, looking back at that 31 of Robert Mitchell. Heck of a job, heck of a shot. Love it. Field working their way down the backstretch. Looks like the two of Todd Lebrani is trying to take the position away from Graham Bunyan. Coming off of turn 4, they're back to the stripe. Bunyan will still be your race leader. Lebrani looking, not gonna take it. Looking like he was gonna go for a little bit of a crossover there. Backed out of it and back down the backstretch. And watching Robert Mitchell, and I'm not sure if it's by design or if he's having a little bit of issues, but he has been very high. There you see him again, very high in the corners. I'm not sure if it's a strategy, if he's trying to get a better run down and off of the top of the corner, or if he may be saving some of the tires, maybe not turning down into the corner as hard. Not sure where the fuel mileage is shaking out for these fellas just yet. So maybe a little bit of fuel mileage game as well. Not quite sure. Things settling out through the rest of the field. Your top three still all over each other. Rick Kelball sitting in fourth, about a half a second off of your race leader, Ray Lanning, almost 1 second off, and Mike West, 2.5 seconds off. There you see him back in the field with Ryan Bowles. Also back there, still running around the racetrack. Bowles was involved in that latest incident, that scene. That 004 of Jason Lowe have to call it a day and go behind the wall. Tough break for him and his crew. But Graham Bunyan putting the car where it needs to be to get the job done, to make a run back up inside the top 5 of your point standings. Winning today's race, getting the most laps led, fastest lap, that could very well propel Bunyan right there inside the top 3, as he was only 44 points behind. In some of the top drivers in the point standings, they found some trouble here today. So Graham could make up a ton of time. There you see him now ducking to the bottom, going down the lap, going down to the bottom around the lap machine. The 25 of Ryan Bowles staying to the top of the track, letting all the lead lap cars by. Rick Kelball going to go by easily. Ryan Bowles going to go by easily as well. field beginning to slowly gap themselves out 0.4 of a second, separate your race leader in second place, Todd Labrani. Robert Mitchell back about 0.2 of a second from Labrani. So already stepping away from fourth on back is your top three. This is your closest battle on track for the second position between Robert Mitchell and Todd Labrani. Both of these drivers having stellar races so far. Now Mitchell looking towards the inside, utilizing a little bit of a run and slipstream down the backstretch. Can he slide up in front? No, not just yet. Gets him on corner exit. Will Labrani attempt a crossover? No, he doesn't. Just going to stay tucked in behind that 31 of Robert Mitchell, as they're going to have to try to work with each other to run down that 101 of Graham Bunyan, who has stepped out now to almost a 1 second lead. And battling like they are now is not going to do them any favors in trying to run down Bunyan. Labrani back to the bottom, back to second position. That's going to put Robert Mitchell right there for the crossover on exit. Not going to get there down the back stretch. Going to have to wait to try to make that pass happen again. Todd Labrani still using that bottom lane, still trying to keep the position away from Robert Mitchell. Robert trying to make the power move on the outside down the backstretch. Does he have enough? Almost clears him on entry, and there you see, Labrani gonna hit pit road 27 laps in. We'll wait and see how long our race leader Graham Bunyan stays out on track now, knowing that Labrani has already came down pit road 28 laps into the green flag run for Bunyan. Does he hit pit road this time by? No, he doesn't. Does Mitchell? No, he doesn't. Neither does Rick Kilball. So could this be a fatal mistake by that 2 of Todd Labrani? We'll have to wait and see how it all shakes out. He is now being scored the first car 1 lap down. He has been down and away, getting back up to speed, and he is in danger of going 2 laps down here during this pit cycle here. As we do see a few other cars, and that looks like Labrani going back down pit road. Penalty handed out to that number 2 machine. Oh my goodness. Trying to see what the penalty actually was. It's not showing the black flag penalty for him, but receiving a black flag is Labrani. Tough break for him and his crew. That is going to put the race lead well in hand for Graham Bunyan. Now almost a 2.5 second lead over the second place car of Robert Mitchell. Rick Kelball back almost a second off of Mitchell. Ray Lenning right there about a half a second or so off of Rick Kelball for that third and final podium spot. And man, oh man, just clear sailing right now for this man, Graham Bunyan. Not a car in sight, not a worry. Just make the laps around this track and click them off, get the job done, go home with another trophy. I tell you what, we're going to take a lap or two around here with your race leader, Graham Bunyan, as he crosses the line this time by for lap 95 out of 115 here today at Texas Motor Speedway. Amazing machines are these Dallara IR18s. An amazing job by your race leader, Graham Bunyan, as Robert Mitchell has made his final pit stop of today's race. Rick Kelball also on pit road right now. Those two drivers being shown one lap down as Graham Bunyan, Ray Lenning, and Mike West yet to hit pit road. When will they come? Bunyan staying out yet another lap. Let's see what Lenning and Mike West do. Looks like they're going to stay out on track as well. And Bunyan beginning to come up to the hurt machine of the 25 of Ryan Bowles. Oh, and Bunyan choosing to hit pit road this time. What will this man right here do? Now that Bunyan has hit pit road, looks like he's going to stay out for at least one more lap. So Ray Lenning going to find himself at the top of the board. Graham Bunyan hitting pit road. Looks like the only other driver yet to hit pit road is the 25 of Ryan Bowles, but he is being scored one lap down here today already. So Bowles trying to race his way back onto the lead, but he is still going to have to make his final pit stop. As Ray Lenning hits pit road, that should put the lead back into the hands of this man right here. Graham Bunyan coming back on to the racing surface with a tremendous stop on and off pit road, 28.8 seconds. That was your second fastest time on and off pit road. Mike West just edging him out with a 28.7 pit delta, as we are down to 15 laps to go. And man on screen, Graham Bunyan has about a 4-second lead on the field. So we'll go ahead and we're going to run through some of your positions as they are, give you a little bit of their race info. There you see him currently in first, started third, has not been outside of that top three all race long. Your race leader, Graham Bunyan. Man running in the second position, there you see him, started in first, pretty much ran inside the top five or so all race. I know it's not showing anything for Lois, but Robert Mitchell right there. Great job so far from him out there today. Rick Kelball started in sixth, currently running in third. So Kelball has made some gains through today's race. Ray Lenning running in fourth, started back in eighth, has, well, chopped his way through the field, been very keen on the situations around him and has found himself inside of your top 5. Rounding out that top 5 spot, the 10 of Mike West. There you see it. 13th position is where he started from. Currently running in 5th. So he is going to be the biggest mover of the race as he lined up basically shotgun of the field, because the man being scored with the 14th position here today, Chris Blackstock, never made it to the track. Issues for him prevented his car from being on the grid and getting out here today. So there you have your top 5 in race info. Mike West walking away with the biggest mover of the race. But up at the front, task at hand. Keep it clean, keep it smooth. 10 more laps, 9 when we cross the line for Graham Bunyan and his 101 Rolling Stones machine. Back on track, back in form, as Bunyan is also going to secure the most laps led without a doubt. Nobody can touch him in that category. 63 laps in the book for him, looking through to see who is going to get that fastest lap of the race. And it is going to end up being the 19 of Chad Pierce, fastest lap of the race, a 23.702. That was a blazing lap right there. Graham Bunyan crossing the line now. Just 7 laps left to go here from Texas Motor Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network. You are watching the U.S. IndyCar League presented by StickQuik. This is race number 3 in season 5. I was going to say race number Sliven. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it wasn't working. This is race number 3 in season 5 here at Texas Motor Speedway. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit the thumbs up, click subscribe, smash the bell over on the right-hand side. Get notified anytime we go live here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Let's not just myself know you like and appreciate what's going on screen, but let's these drivers know you like and appreciate the action that they are bringing you here in the U.S. IndyCar League presented by StickQuik, and the laps are clicking off down and away. 4 laps to go, this time by no real battles on track. Everybody pretty much stacked out through the field. We'll take a look at a few of the cars as they make their way around the track. There you see that that is a sharp ride that Robert Mitchell finds himself in. Now looking back at Rick Kelball, always loved Rick's black and green paint scheme. Absolutely love those colors. Ray Lenning. What more can you say? I mean, he's got Alabama on the car. I mean, how can you not like it? I mean, even when we lose, we still look good. We don't lose often though, so yeah. All right, back to the reason we are all here today, and that's to see who has what it takes to walk away with the race win here in race number 3, season 5 for the U.S. IndyCar League, presented to you by StickQuik. And we have our one to go, brought to you by StickQuik.com. Go ahead over there and check those guys out. Great organizers and fashioners, all magnetic, great items out there. And that is it. That's a wrap. Put it in the books. Graham Bunyan to the winner's circle once again. Bunyan doing what he has to do to make up as many points as he can on the rest of the drivers here so far. Great race by Bunyan. Great job by all. We're gonna sit and see for a second if Bunyan celebrates, how he does. Post-race interviews here on Turn 3 Racing Network coming right up. So while we let everything happen and let Graham burn a little bit of rubber down there on the track, don't go anywhere. We will be right back here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Oh, hi. What's your name? Hi, Marcia. I almost erased you. I was going to draw a car. You do? But you're a... Well, I don't know. A racing driver? Well, we can make that happen.
Thanks for rejoining us here at Turn 3 Racing Network this morning. Man, what a race did we just witness. Finishing third here today, final podium position, that 24 of Rick Kelball. Heck of a race by him and his entire team, the entire crew, getting the job done all race long. Unfortunately, Rick was not able to comment on any of the racing out there today. Has some prior engagements to go to get to. So we will now try to try to catch a word with your second place finisher out there today. Robert Mitchell, you got a copy?
Gotcha.
Hey, man, that StickQuik machine looks pretty.
Thank you. Would have done a little bit better today. I knocked a toe out when I bumped the wall earlier, so fell back a little bit.
Well, good run. I mean, finishing second, that's nothing to hang your head about. Good season so far for you as well. With 3 races in the books and looking forward to next week's big Indy race. How do you, or where do you put yourself so far here with the league this season?
I just want to try to stay in the top 3 in points, till we get down to the last couple of races and then make a charge. See how it goes from there. Catching Graham's going to be tough, but it's doable. He's definitely got some talent, and racing him every week you learn something. But yeah, it's going to be a fun week next week. It's going to be a half distance Indy race, 250 laps.
Gonna be a show for sure, and I can't wait for that one. Well, man, I mean, a lot of big things next week. A qualifying session, then we go into race session. So a lot of big things, a lot of big. Oh my goodness! Don't you love it when things pop up when they're not supposed to? I just absolutely love it. But
it's always fun.
Yeah, always fun and
It's
exciting.
going to be a great week, like I said. Yeah, we got a qualifying session. We're going to take the 4 average lap time, put that in there, and then line them up and send them off in the green. Still contemplating. I don't know if I want to go 3 wide yet. Depends on how many people we get. But it's definitely going to be an exciting race. It's going to be a very close race next week.
All right, Robert. Well, once again, great job coming home in second here today. Before we let you go, though, would you like to give any shout-outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, thank you. Number one, thanks for broadcasting. You're doing a good job. And thanks to the people that watch. Thanks to all the guys in the league that make this a really good league to be in. And just look forward to racing every week and doing the best I can. And I love this machine, too.
All right, well, there you have it. That was your second place finisher for today's race. And now we will jump up here to your race winner, Graham Bunyan. And man, I always love talking to Graham, and it seems like you're always in first when I talk to you.
No, I think not last week. I missed last week. The week before. Where was I? Second, third. I don't know. I don't think I was first.
No, not all the time. No, sir. No, stretching the truth. But you stretched the lead through that green flag cycle there. How were you able to get on and off pit road so good?
You know what? I actually thought I had a slow pit entry. I really thought I had a slow pit entry. I slowed down a lot earlier than what I would have. I knew I had time up my sleeve because everybody was pitting behind me, and I had like a 4.5 to 5 second gap. So I come in a bit too cautious, I think. But I thought it would have cost me a heap of time. But yeah, no, I don't know. I always nail the pit stops. I love my pit stops. It's one thing I practice a lot of.
All right. Well, I mean, you missed last week's race coming into today's race, 44 points behind the points leader. Definitely doing what you need to do to claw your way back up in the point standings, leading the most laps, walking away with the top spot. So What's your thoughts heading into next week's race, the big race there at Indy?
Yeah, look, I think I've got to focus on the top three to try and to gain back some points from last week. Unfortunately, work commitments came in first before driving, so got to think of that dollars. Anyway, yeah, no, look, coming into Indy, I think it should be good. 250 laps, 4-lap qualifying, and I don't know, eyes forward. I got to concentrate on that top three just to stay up there.
All right, man. Well, we won't hold you much longer. Great race win out there today. Glad to see you back on track. Glad to see you back where you normally end up at the top of the field. But Graham, before we let you go, would you like to give any shout outs, thank yous, love yous, anything like that?
Yeah, look, again, every week, like I always do, thanks to Robert for putting it on. StickQuik for coming on board. I'm not American, so I don't have much of an idea about all that, but from what I've heard, it's pretty good. I think there's a couple of other sponsors coming on for the Indy, I believe. And yeah, look, another shout out to a good buddy of mine, Danny, who is just going to be AFK for a couple of races, but he'll be back hopefully. And yeah, look, again, thanks to everybody for showing up, and yourself again for doing a great job up there in the box.
All right. Well, there you have it. That was your race winner, the 101 of Graham Bunyan. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves us not much left to do up here in the booth at Turn 3 Racing Network. I want to thank all the friends, family, and loved ones tuning in this morning for the U.S. IndyCar League presented by StickQuik here on Turn 3 Racing Network. Race number 3 is in the books. All is said and done. Your final results look a little something like this, walking away with the race win. That 101 of Graham Bunyan coming home in second. The 31 of Robert Mitchell in third place today. Rounding out your podium positions, the 24 of Rick Kilball. Finishing in fourth today, the 16 of Ray Lenning. Rounding out your top 5 was the 10 of Mike West. Sixth position goes to the 25 of Ryan Bowles, and in seventh, the 99 of Ben Wallace. Eighth position goes to the 2 of Todd Labrani, and in ninth, the 004 of Jason Lowe. 10th place runner, the 13 of Howard Livingston, and in 11th, the 6 of Jeff Murray. 12th spot goes to Chad Pearson, his 19 machine today. And rounding out your final 2 spots, 13th goes to the 306 of Will Stearns, while Chris Blackstock had trouble making the grid and never actually got his machine out on track. He will be slotted with the 14th and final finishing position here today. Well, that is it. It's all over with. Nothing else left for us to do up here in the booth. And man, oh man, I can tell you what, week in and week out, these IndyCar, yep. Let's try that again. So, hit the rewind. Okay, stop. Record. Week in and week out, these U.S. IndyCar League drivers put on one heck of a show. Next week, not going to be any different. Big time race, half distance race there at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the heart of IndyCar racing. And if you can't get excited and look forward to an IndyCar race at Indianapolis, then, well, there's something wrong with you. Shout out to StickQuik.com, as well as Jack Bumper for coming on board, sponsoring next week's race. Gonna be one heck of a show. So, from myself, David Worrell, and everybody else here at Turn 3 Racing Network behind the scenes, we do appreciate you coming out, watching, sticking it out with us. And well, with all that being said, we're going to walk away from the track today and look forward to seeing you next week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway here on Turn 3 Racing Network.
Growing up as a kid in Oklahoma, where I'm from, the Chili Bowl is the biggest race that we have. The Chili Bowl has kind of been my favorite race of the year. Growing up a dirt racer in Oklahoma, that's kind of the holy grail.